Hi everyone. So this tutorial is a follow-up from the previous tutorial to teach you how to make custom brushes. Alright, so I'm going to choose B and for brush, and I'm going to just do a stroke right now, with this very simple round head brush. And what I'm going to do is what I did in the previous tutorial was use that brush to create this brush. How did I do it? Very quickly, if I go to brush tip shape, and if I were to flatten the brush and increase the spacing of this brush, you'll notice that um, the brush becomes like a dotted line. What I'm going to do next is scatter it some more, activate the scattering, and what you get is something like this. So it looks like scattered spots all over. That's my brush right now. Okay, so that's how I got to create this custom brush. And all I do is go up here and save it as a new brush preset, and it ends up being part of my library over here. Now, let's say we want to draw a custom brush and create our own custom brush, not with something that we have here in the library. Oops, sorry, let's fill this with white again. Now what I want to do is create a new document. Usually I prefer a square shaped document, like a perfect square. So I'm going to make a document that's 300 pixels by 300 pixels at 200 dpi pixels per inch. I'm going to press OK. And let's just draw an object. For example, we do not draw on the background layer because we want to keep the alpha of this object. So I'm going to create a new layer, and no matter what the color or shape is, it should be better drawing or painting brushes or creating brushes in black and white. So I'm going to increase the size here. I'm going to draw like a leaf shape. So I'm going to just draw everything in black and white. I'm going to start with black, create the stem of the leaf. Okay, and I'm going to make like a palm leaf, sort of a palm leaf shape. All right, then decrease, oops, sorry, go here, increase the brightness. The reason why I'm doing different shades of gray is because I want to show you the effect of these different shades of gray when it gets turned into a brush. Alright, so we have this strange little palm leaf shape here, which we can turn into a brush. So what we do is, we throw away the background layer now. So we save this brush, save as, right? Let's just save it on the desktop right now, my messy desktop. And call this palm leaf.psd. Save that, right? And just for a backup. Now what you can do is you go to Edit and go to Define Brush Preset. Okay, palmleaf.psd, press OK. Now do you see it has become a shape? It's that simple. It's just one click going to Edit and saving as Define Brush Preset. Now let's go back here to the white canvas. Let's choose a color now. Okay, and oops, it's all filled with color. Sorry, let's go to the background layer and let's draw a simple item. For example, let's throw away the top layer. I was drawing something on top. Okay, so let's draw a simple shape like a wiggly line in the background. And we take this palm leaf that we have created. Let's choose a green color for it. I want to show you the effect of using the different grays in the brush. So it increase the size. Now, you notice that previously when I created my brush, there is the black one, and then it goes gray, and the gray becomes eventually lighter. Okay, when it gets turned into a brush, what it reads off is the black will be the most opaque part of the brush. But as it becomes more, as the value increases, what happens is it becomes lighter and lighter. So the one that is almost white, this top bit here, reads off as something very faint, right? You can see right through, whereas the black portion is this very opaque, sort of a solid opaque, a sort of matte color, right? Yeah, that's very solid. You can't see through it because it's fully black. But the ones that are in gray, it has varying values, as you can see, or varying levels of transparency. So that's what it comes off as, all right? So let's look at another way you can get brushes. You can even grab one off my tutorial right now. For example, if I have a brush here, let's say this one that I like to use a lot in my digital painting, this one here. Okay, how do you grab this brush right now off my screen? Okay, all you need to do is press print screen on your keyboard, all right, and then create a new file, enter, paste. All right, so you print screen whatever you had, whatever your screen capture, um, whatever you had on your screen capture, sorry, and all you do is just crop this area, okay, because all you want is this texture that I've created on the screen, okay. Then you go to select, color range, and choose black color, all right, and increase the fuzziness, and press OK, copy, and then paste. And what you do is you remove the background layer and also the screen capture layer, and all you're left with is this. All right, it may look quite faded, not all the details are captured, so usually what you can do is you duplicate it a few more times and you could probably get the same texture. All right, so I've multiplied it another 3 more times. Control E to collapse all the layers together. Yeah, so you've got this texture right now, and what we're gonna do is very simple. Again, go to Edit, define brush preset, and press one good reason now to actually do it in a square document is because you don't want the brush to be squashed, right? Because you see, if what we do is define brush preset, you notice that the texture is a bit squashed because this is not a perfect square document. It is slightly longer, it's rectangular, right? So therefore, what it does is it forces this texture to fit into a square shape, a perfect square shape. So you don't want that. So you copy this, go to a new document, make it like what we did earlier for the palm leaf, 300 by 300 pixels. You could put it at 200 dpi if you want. Paste it here and then delete it. You can even increase the size of this texture a little bit. Go to File, Edit, define brush preset, and there you have it, right? The texture does not look squashed at all. Okay, press OK, and you have the texture brush here. See, the new texture brush is created here. All right, we go back to our blank document. Let's remove all that we've made before and click on this one, use brush, click on this one that you've just created, and let's test it out, right? All right, it's not bad. It's capturing the texture that we wanted, but how do we get it to become a better looking brush like the one that it started out with, which is this one, right? All you need to do right now, it looks like it's quite separated, so probably what we need to adjust is the spacing. So let's bring the percentage of the spacing down really close, and you can see that now it's forming a nice clean stroke, right? And then what you do is you go to shape dynamics, make sure that pen pressure is switched on, all right, because you want the brush to be sensitive to your pen pressure. Yeah, so there you have it. And one last thing that you might want to do is click on this, which is for pen pressure, reading the pressure on your tablet. So finally, you get something like this. Yeah, so it looks like a Chinese ink brush, right? So all that was done by just snapshotting a texture from on screen. You can use just about anything. All right, let's just take an image from my illustration that I have done. I've got a little illustration that I've done recently, and I'm thinking maybe why not we try and use this cat jumping over the moon. All right, let's select this. Okay, Control C, Control N. Okay, now this is a perfect, it may not be 300, but it is a perfect square. Press OK and paste. Now, it's blue color right now, and it really doesn't matter because a brush doesn't read color. What you need to do now is change it to grayscale. Okay, don't flatten it. Discard. And throw away the background because you want an alpha around this right now. Okay, so this will be your new brush. Go to edit, define brush preset, and press and type in cat. Press OK. Now let's go to our new document here. All right, let's clean this mess up, fill up, and go to brush. If you look now, the cat is here. Right, so the cat brush is right here now. Okay, so if you want to play around with it, you can. All right, yeah. So if you kind of just press it once, it doesn't really read very well if you press it once. Probably it has to do with pen pressure. There you go. So it comes out like this, right? You can of course play around with it by changing the settings here, tightening the spacing, include the shape dynamics, scatter it a bit, and let's try and do an angle jitter, probably a roundness jitter as well. Okay, all right. So now let's try it out. Okay. This is an interesting brush, yeah. So basically you can make brushes out of anything. You can go around and with your camera or your phone and snap pictures of interesting texture, gritty texture, and select parts that you want out of that image to become a custom brush. All right. So I hope this is helpful for you to start off. But in all honesty, like what I said in the previous tutorial about brushes, you really don't need that many brushes. I feel you could do with, as a beginner, it's best to start with a few good brushes that you're comfortable with and then work from there. I still basically use quite a minimal amount of brushes in my paintings. All right, so once again, if you are interested in this video, you find videos like this one useful, please click subscribe, and I will continue to make more to help you out with your digital paintings. All right, see you soon.